Well, I think President Obama has a great interest in Latin America and a very positive perspective. He comes with an international background that's very unusual for U.S. presidents, and his whole career as an academic and even before as a student has given him an international focus that I think is quite important. At the heart of his program toward Latin America is the notion of establishing a partnership that's real and that's beneficial for both sides. And he's repeatedly said he looks towards a partnership of equals where there's give and take, where both sides listen, and at the end of the day, it's possible on a country-by-country level as well as more broadly for the region to have some productive results from this new relationship. Well, I think the process itself is not insignificant. The fact that he does talk about a partnership. More specifically, I think he's shown a willingness to engage very tough issues, from something like climate change, which is very contentious in many ways, not abstractly, it's easy to accept, difficult to implement, to immigration, which is such a critical issue to many countries in Latin America, particularly Mexico. The president has said he plans to engage that sometime after health care and climate change. That's a major step. He's shown a willingness to engage with Cuba. The initial steps have been modest, but in a framework where nothing has happened for decades, I think it shows a new willingness to look to the future, and he is aware that this is symbolically an important issue in Latin America. Well, I think there are a lot of constraints, and this is, of course, not peculiar to President Obama. Any U.S. president or any president of a country faces many constraints. You don't start with a clean slate. In the case of President Obama, he's dealing with an uncertain economy, which brings its own set of political tensions and demands for resources, for new programs. He's also talking about an extremely uncertain situation internationally, whether it's Iran or the winding down of the war of Iraq or the evaluation of where Afghanistan might go. All of this requires attention, political capital, and a real engagement. So the combination of the economic uncertainty, an ambitious domestic agenda, and an international set of issues that are very tough and very demanding, all this feeds into what the president is able to do in the context of Latin America. But I think his genuinely good feelings towards the region and his awareness as to how important this relationship is to the United States means that there are possibilities to do some programs that are innovative and that look towards the future. I think there are unique opportunities for Chile in particular when it comes to climate change, when it comes to pioneering renewable energy. We tend to associate innovation with either large advanced industrial economies or minimally large emerging nations. Size does matter, but the flip side of large size is a small country that has an understanding of these issues, the resources available, and the basic infrastructure to begin can play a pioneering role. In the 21st century, when it comes to innovation at the cutting edge of something like renewable energy, it's a very flat world. It is possible not simply to talk about Chile deploying the technology, but also developing and manufacturing the technology. It has unique qualities, both in terms of its political understandings, in terms of the efficiency of its governmental processes, in terms of the resources that Chile has from its copper funds, and simply put, the Atacama Desert, a place that is ideal globally for the diffusion of solar energy.